Good evening, everyone. My name is Lillian,
I'm Alice.
and this is BDSM Gen Y. And yes, we know it's kind of been a while since you've seen us. There's good reason for that. She got headbutted by a horse.
At work.
At work. And fractured her tooth and bent it at a 45-degree angle and came out with a concussion and all kinds of wonderful things. So we apologize for our lack of updates. However, I've been far more focused on her health than anything else.
And learning how to talk again for me, because for about a day there, I was talking like this.
It was awesome because I
Right.
speak ball gag and therefore I could understand her and nobody else could. So I had a literal reason for speaking for my slave and nobody questioned it. That was
No.
probably the only awesome part about it.
Just about.
Other update news, we are now moving our normal update day over to Friday. The reason for this is because we got our work schedules on Tuesday and
As you can imagine, preparing for the rest of the week.
and trying to get the show done, whether or not we have work the next day. It's just a giant mess. So
Yes.
we're going to update on Fridays from now on. We've had a few questions on FetLife
That we have.
and in email and even on YouTube. We're not going to mention who they're from,
Nope.
but we are going to answer them.
Yes. Also, in case you're wondering, this is Sasha.
This is
our
Sasha.
other cat.
This is the dumb one, which is why you never see her.
I call her
because
PTSD Kitty.
Yeah, she's
She's
been
a little
traumatized.
special.
Yeah. She'll stay the entire episode instead of wandering in and out like Alia does.
Yep.
Anyways, the first question we had was from someone asking whether or not local BDSM communities are usually a little tepid to enter into the first time for newbies.
I think we have different opinions on that one because we've had different experiences.
Yeah, well, they can be. And whether or not they are is really dependent on how dangerous the local social environment is.
Exactly. For example, my last BDSM community, which was in the South, the cultural South as well as the geographical South, it was pretty dangerous for people to expose themselves as kinksters. They might lose their jobs, they might lose friends, there were serious consequences. So the dungeon was not publicly advertised, certainly not its location. It's not open like the one is that we're here with now. And people were a lot more cautious when new people came into the scene because they didn't know you and they didn't know if you were going to respect them and their boundaries and their, right to privacy. So yeah, definitely people can be if they feel like there's a threat to their safety.
But the answer to it, though, is continue going out there, continue putting yourself out there. They will warm up, and there's never a case where they won't warm up because kinksters want to be able to share their experiences
with others,
with other people.
Who are like-minded.
There's a smaller pool of people that they can associate with and socialize with freely. So they're always going to be looking for opportunities to expand that group. So keep going out there, don't get discouraged, and know that the reason why they're cautious is because they're afraid of losing their livelihoods in many cases. Second question we got was, what are the protocols for contacting a submissive online that is already attached to a dominant?
Well, the first and most important thing you should do is read both their profiles. Check the profile. It's likely that they or their dominant or both will have told you exactly how they wish to be contacted and by who and who to talk to first. However, if that's not the case, you can always err on the side of caution.
And send the message at the same time to both parties. Which is usually what I tend to do when it's a little ambiguous as to whether or not there is a protocol in place. I usually, if I have to contact the submissive first or if something's just relevant to them, I let the dominant know, hey, I sent him a message, this is the topic, if there's more you need to know, please feel free to ask, I will answer. So there's your answer. If it's on the profile, follow it. If not, don't. I can tell you that if they have something posted on their profile and you follow it, you will earn instant brownie points.
Absolutely, because you paid attention.
Most people don't.
That's right. Just basically don't contact the submissive without letting the dominant know. That's the way to err on the safe side.
Yep. And then the last question was a rather naughty one. Like Knotty.
Yes!
Not Naughty.
I was looking at you. Like, did we get a kinky sex question? You didn't tell me?
No. If we got a kinky sex question, I would have let you know immediately so that we could, attempt whatever it was. And then give feedback. No.
That'd be awesome.
It was from a submissive. She is more, or okay, I should clarify. The messages have been gender neutral.
Mm.
I am under the assumption it is a she because of the username.
We do not, in fact, know. And that's okay.
That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. So there's a submissive
irrelevant.
with a dominant.
Yep.
Submissive in this case is more experienced in BDSM than the dominant. How do you go about teaching your dominant without feeling like it undermines your dynamic?
Yep, and this is from because we had to clarify the question is it the dominant who's having problems with listening and feeling uncomfortable with it, or is it the submissive having problems sharing the information?
Right.
It's the submissive having the problems in this situation, but we're going to answer both.
Mm-hmm. So go for it. If it's the dominant who feels uncomfortable.
If it's the dominant who feels uncomfortable, in many cases the solution is the same. Mm-hmm. But you have to stop viewing it as them bossing you around or telling you what to do. Teaching is not necessarily a dominant position. Mm-hmm. View it entirely differently. If your submissive or slave cooked better than you would have them cook for you. In this case, they have more knowledge than you, so suck the knowledge out of them.
Access it.
Access it as much as you can.
Utilize it fully.
There are times where, it is very obvious that, Alice here is better at some things than me. That's the way life is going to be. There are times when I'm better at things than she is, and some of them are things that the more traditional submissive would be doing, like cooking. I'm a better cook. So I do the cooking on average. It doesn't matter. I'm better at it. I like to eat my own cooking more than hers. So,
to be fair, the only thing that he's had of mine is my grilled cheese sandwiches, and those are rocking. But
anyways, just view them as more of a repository, and you'll have a better and easier time taking it. And frankly, you should be looking to learn as much as you can from anyone, anywhere. Period, regardless of what the
dynamic
is, or the repository, or anything else, because an asshole could have brilliant, suppositions that you may be able to build upon and use.
And speaking as the subby type, that is definitely a thorny question, one that we've been wrestling with for a while, because I totally understand the problem. It's hard not to feel like you're placed in a quote-unquote superior position if you're in the position of having to teach or educate someone. Part of that is the way that our education system is set up. There's a power dynamic inherent in that. And part of it is submissive personalities tend to feel uncomfortable trying to lord it over their dominant types, or feeling in any way like they're possibly lording it over their dominant types. It's uncomfortable for us. But don't think of it like that. You can't think of it like that, or you will crash and burn. Yeah. Instead, think of it as, this is a skill that I have. In this case, knowledge is the skill substitute. And this is something I can do for him. Just another thing I can do. I am intelligent, so my brain is something I can give. I can lead him toward knowledge, and both of us will benefit from it. Think of it as a journey, and a journey that you take together. Hey, Alia.
Oh, no.
There is about to be a kitty battle, I think.
Kitty war.
But yeah, life is a journey, and that's trite and cliche to say, but it's true. And so if you take it together rather than one person pulling the other along,
other
think
suggestions.
Of it that way.
Don't make demands.
No.
Make them suggestions.
Right.
If you're still having a really hard time maintaining a submissive mindset while offering suggestion, must you fall over on me?
Yes, she must.
Maybe do it while kneeling. Do it in a position that feels submissive to you. And your mind will have an easier time following your body. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. We're very glad to be back on the airwaves. Please feel free to contact us about anything, whatever it is, even if you just want to say hi. We're in this for the viewers and the viewer feedback. So, yeah.
And this has been BDSM Gen Y. I'm Alice.
And this is Lillian, and we will see you this Friday.